Life Audio.
Encouragers, you don't need to fix it all. You just need a timer, a little courage, and the willingness to reset one thing.
Hey there, parents. Are you tired of the babysitter search struggle? Look no further. Welcome to KingdomCareSitters.com, where Christian families connect with like-minded sitters who share their faith.
I was searching for a reliable sitter who understands our faith and family dynamics. With KingdomCareSitters.com, I found the perfect match.
And guess what? You can discover sitter profiles, post jobs, and even schedule and book short-term or long-term care, all on the user-friendly website, KingdomCareSitters.com.
Plus, KingdomCareSitters.com lets you pay securely online. Whether it's date night, work commitments, or just some me time, Kingdom Care's got you covered.
As a sitter, I love being part of this community. I set my own rates, connect with amazing families, and make a difference in their lives.
Are you ready to find your perfect match? Visit KingdomCareSitters.com today, because when faith meets childcare, it's a match made in heaven.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love, because helping you put your faith into action is at the heart of what we do. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Hello and welcome to the Encourager Podcast, where we have encouraging conversations to help you joyfully harmonize your home and work life. I'm your host, Rebekah Scott. I'm a wife, mother, designer, coach, and author. I'm here to help encourage and empower you to confidently make decisions that work for you and your stage of life, whatever that might be. Hello, Encouragers. On this week's podcast, I want to talk to you about the 10-minute reset. It's something that I've practiced for years, but never had the nice, neat little title around it. But these are little things that I do within 10 minutes that just help me to exhale out, take a deep breath, think about okay, I do have 10 minutes to just stop. And sometimes it's resting and sometimes it's doing, but it'll help me to reset and not go down the spiral of productivity or chaos or rage cleaning or reacting. And so I'm going to give you 50 different ideas in the 5 systems that will give you this 10-minute reset that'll really help both mentally and physically clear your space and go back to responding instead of just reacting. And this is really needed this time of year as we're in the middle of summer, most likely when you're listening to this and it's everybody's at home. There's tons of things that have to be done and everybody's got their stuff everywhere. And so I find myself using these ideas frequently. And the ideas are meant to serve as just ideas. If you have better ones, use them. But the trick is to make sure that they can be done in about 10 minutes. Otherwise, you're just adding another task to the list. And these are supposed to help make you pause and just reset how overwhelmed you feel. I'm a big fan of the timer. So go ahead and set the timer if you want to be really nitty gritty about it, or just mentally note, okay, this task can take me about 10 minutes. And on the other side of this 10-minute reset is a breath of fresh air or a feeling of, okay, I can do this, an accomplishment. So let's get started. The reason this whole podcast came about is I found myself during graduation season right afterwards is that we still had everything everywhere after the big party. We had leftover baked beans. We had the canisters that we had to return to the church. We had the grad gifts because I wasn't able to attend all the parties, but I had the gifts for them. We had everybody's everything everywhere. And any leftovers from people that came to the party, like Gus's friends and stuff, had a couple of items of clothing in our yard after playing Ghost in the Graveyard till 2 a.m. Side note, guys, I totally played Ghost in the Graveyard from midnight until 2 a.m. Best day ever. I felt like I was 10 years old again, so please participate. But anyways, we had everybody's stuff, including our own, in my kitchen and in the entryway, and it was starting to feel really, 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 really chaotic in my brain because I knew where these things had to go, but it wasn't either the time to return them or I just hadn't made decisions on them. Meanwhile, I was also having the last chance sale for my purse and accessory business, Rebekah Scott Designs, which is this huge sale that we have. So I had that stuff in the studio. So the studio felt a little more undone than normal. And of course, there was track meets still going on and a jazz band concert, and we were leaving for youth group. So, all these things, the jazz band concert was the night before, but the instrument was there. The track meet was the night before, but the bag was there. And I was trying to get ready to leave for youth group, and it was like, I cannot leave for youth group and leave this mess for one more night. We'd already been like 4 nights in of after party. So as I was getting ready for youth group, I thought, I'm just going to take 10 minutes to have a little reset. And what I did in that 10-minute recess is I cleaned my entryway. That's where everybody comes in. It's a huge space. Actually, it's my favorite realty of the whole home. The whole home is this. And I'm like, girls, I did ask my girls to help. Some of these ideas, you guys, you can ask others to help. Some you're going to be able to do yourself. And I said, let's just organize the shoes and pick up backpacks and coats and some of the stuff that has to be returned. Let's put it in a tote so I can just, when I come home from youth group, I can also just like, okay, the first area of my home is going to be somewhat picked up. We did not have time to vacuum or even sweep, but we had time to pick it up. And that's a 10-minute task that I chose. And it helped my home system that we talk about frequently. But it was just what I needed so that I didn't have one more minute of chaotic thought about my home. So if you've ever felt like you're one laundry pile, one hangry kid, or one missed deadline away from losing it, these 10-minute tasks, when you set that 10-minute timer, these will create big peace. And I want to show you how. Also, keep in mind, you guys, you don't need an hour. You don't even need a plan. These are just quick things that you're going to pick up. You just need 10 focused minutes to reset and stop the spiral. You can't always clear the chaos, but you can change your response, and a timer will help with this. Remember when I talked about in a podcast episode just a couple ago was 2 Chronicles 20:12. We do not know what to do, Lord, but our eyes are on you. I cannot express to you how frequently I have said that, both in my voice text to friends and family and in my own way in my head saying, I don't know what to do, Lord, but my eyes are on you. And repeating that over and over just creates its own sense of peace right there. So I do highly encourage throughout these spirals that you feel like you might be going on, repeat that verse over and over. 2 Chronicles 20:12. We do not know what to do, Lord, but our eyes are on you. Also, side note, you guys know how I feel about a timer. I love them, but the timer is not about control. It's about invitation to get started with just those 10 minutes. So don't think of it as like, this is my controlling thing. It's just like something that you can handle and something that you can get a little bit of grip on. It's an invitation to create some peace in those 10 minutes. I am going to name the 5 systems that we work on frequently here on the podcast, and I'm going to give you examples for each one of them that you can apply within 10 minutes. And one of my goals for the podcast is that after listening to the podcast within 10 minutes, you can implement something. You're definitely going to have a lot of ideas today to do that, but we will also provide a resource with these ideas on there so that you can just print this off, hang it up on your fridge. When you're going through those spiral moments or you're feeling chaotic, you can grab it quick and be like, you know what? I'm just going to apply these to the home system right now. I'm just feeling really overwhelmed in my family system right now, and you can apply these. So this will be a printable that you guys can print off, hang up on your fridge for when the spiral happens. Not if it happens, but when it happens, so you can feel a little bit more peace on the other side of these teeny tiny 10-minute tasks. Let's start with your me system. The goal of the me system is to reset the body, the mind, and the spirit. It's to get a full charge. Some of the tasks that you could do in the me system in under 10 minutes to stop this spiral is do a 10-minute prayer walk. It's just you, God, and a sidewalk or a gravel road, which is my favorite. Or you could write down 3 things you're grateful for and 1 thing you're letting go of today. If you just need to shut yourself in your bathroom or your bedroom and do this little grateful practice, I highly recommend it. Or you could stretch and do breath work. You could just sit and stretch. It feels so good. Set that little 10-minute timer and breathe in and out. Notice you're not doing much of anything in this, but you are resetting yourself. Or you could put on a worship song and just listen. No multitasking. This one is very difficult for me, but when I have learned to turn it over into worship instead of do, drastically changes the way you approach things. Or you could do a brain dump of your thoughts into a journal. No editing it, no judging it. Remember, you're just dumping it. That's probably my favorite for the me system is when I'm feeling really overwhelmed. I'm like, I think it's my me system. Like my own body is not regulating. I'm just feeling out of control. The brain dump is my favorite go-to of the 10-minute task. Okay, let's try it on your food system. So you're going through the spiral. You have this moment. You're like, I think it's the food system that's making me the most overwhelmed right now. Here are a couple of ideas and tasks in under 10 minutes that you can do to get a little bit better grip on your food system. And remember, the goal of the food system is to create a sense of provision or prep in it So some tasks that you can do in your food system is to plan dinner for the next 3 days using what's already in your fridge and freezer. This might even be the quintessential go-tos: spaghetti, tacos, crock-pot meal. Just use the things that you already have so that you're not also I got to go pick that up. Just open up your fridge, plan supper for the next 3 days. Or you could start a grocery list based on quick pantry inventory. Open your pantry doors and just write a quick grocery list. You can put it in your phone. You can write down on paper. You can just put it in your Otter app and it can do it for you. Just create a grocery list in these 10 minutes so you feel a little bit better control of what you're going to feed everybody and how you're going to restock your pantry. Or you could prep one produce item, like you're going to start chopping your veggies, or maybe you're going to wash your fruit, or maybe you're going to get the meat out to defrost. That's a 10-minute task that will reduce all the overwhelm because you're planning. You could also toss expired or questionable items from the fridge. I do love this one, especially when my fridge, when I open it and I'm really overwhelmed, I'm like, okay, you know what? No more of this. For me, it usually lands on Wednesday nights, and I'm not sure why that rhythm happens, but you know me. I time everything and I'm very observant of how I'm running my home. And for whatever reason, Wednesday nights, I clean out the fridge. It must be the night that we're home. That's probably my conclusion there. I mean, we do go to youth group, but I almost open up those fridge doors, take a look at what's in there, clean out, and you'll just feel better. I'm not saying wiping down the shelves. I'm not saying clear the whole thing out. You're just getting rid of expired things or questionable things. Or you could also batch label containers or zip bags for grab and go snacks. So this is something that you could do by yourself, or you could involve a kiddo, but you can just start labeling these little snack bags for the week when you're running out the door and the kid's like, hey, can I have a snack for after school? And you're like, I got to go and get it. They would already be pre-portioned and ready to go. I know that's a little bit of an extra step. Some of you may just buy the already pre-portioned snacks. Go for it. I always say I'm a good 4-H'er and I've done the math. So I don't buy a lot of prepackaged snacks. The kids know that. And so I just buy a box and then I put it into individual sacks, or we just grab the box depending on if it's a long trip away. But if it's just for school, then we put it in the individual baggies. Hey, encouragers, hope you're enjoying this episode. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hey there, parents. Are you tired of the babysitter search struggle? Look no further. Welcome to KingdomCareSitters.com, where Christian families connect with like-minded sitters who share their faith.
I was searching for a reliable sitter who understands our faith and family dynamics. With KingdomCareSitters.com, I found the perfect match.
And guess what? You can discover sitter profiles, post jobs, and even schedule and book short-term or long-term care, all on the user-friendly website, KingdomCareSitters.com.
Plus, KingdomCareSitters.com lets you pay securely online. Whether it's date night, work commitments, or just some me time, Kingdom Care's got you covered.
As a sitter, I love being part of this community. I set my own rates, connect with amazing families, and make a difference in their lives.
Are you ready to find your perfect match? Visit KingdomCareSitters.com today, because when faith meets childcare, it's a match made in heaven.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love, because helping you put your faith into action is at the heart of what we do. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Now, for your home system, the goal of the home system is for visual and sensory peace. Remember, this is where you create a sanctuary. And so some ideas that you could do in your home system, if you're going through the spiral and you're like, I think it's the home system, we need a little reset on the home system. Here are some ideas you can do. Do a 10-minute pickup blitz. Set a timer and go room by room. I love this one, and it super works, especially when you set that timer, because you subconsciously know, there's a timer. I'm not going to make huge decisions here. I'm not going to get stuck on decisions because there's a timer running. So I'm just going to go through each room and pick up a little bit. And sometimes, most times, I grab a bin and I just go through each room, and anything that's out of place or that does not belong in that room, I put in the bin. Now notice, I'm not going around and then putting the bin away, but I got the bin with the things that don't belong in the bedrooms. Maybe later that evening, I'll ask everybody, hey, everybody look at that bin and put the things where they belong. Sometimes I have time for that, sometimes I don't. But this 10-minute blitz pickup is a game changer for a really good reset. Or you could wipe down your most used surfaces. So think about your countertops, your sink, or your table. I do love this one because I put a magic eraser pad I don't know if they call them a pad or not, but the magic erasers, I put them behind my kitchen sink in an area where you can't see them. And I put them behind my bathroom sink, also in an area you can't see them, so that I can just quickly wipe down the sink. There is something about a clean sink that just resets me. Like, okay, you know what? If somebody came to wash their hands, at least the sink would be clean. So wipe down just your most used surfaces. Even if my countertops are clean, I like it for that one too. I'm like, okay, I can just wipe down all the crumbs off of this countertop when I get home or when I enter this room again. At least I know that part will be brushed off. Or you could light a candle and put on background music that is really your vibe. Now, this is not doing something. This is a reset that helps you to calm down. And this one is needed at times. And you're like, I just light my favorite candle or put your favorite essential oils in there, put on some music. Maybe your house is picked up, but your brain feels really busy. And it just feels like your home life is just really chaotic. Even though it's somewhat picked up, there's some things that you can't put your finger on. This might be a really good one for that. Just light that candle, put on some background music, and be peaceful. Or you could gather all the items that you need to return. And you know this, they're sitting in your drop area zones. They're like items that have to be returned to stores, or maybe it's people, or maybe it's the library, or maybe it's grad gifts. Like I talked about, like, where do all these go? Well, put them in a similar area in a box or a bin, and then put it in your car for when you are running the errands or whatever that step is. But gather those things that don't have a home because they don't belong in your home and put them into one common area. I always put them into our car. I think that's because we live so far out. So I know that they're in the car and I have an extra 10 minutes between picking up kiddos or something, I can possibly run or return that thing. Those are all great ideas for your home system. When it starts to feel like you're spiraling and you want to make the biggest difference in your home system, think about those ideas. Now, here are some ideas for your work system. Remember, your work system is answering the questions who, what, when, where, and why. And if you feel like the work system is the one that's spiraling the most right now or causing just the most chaos, here's some ideas of 10-minute tasks. Listen, just 10 minutes. And you can be on the other side of like, I can approach my workday different, because I'm going to walk through this 10-minute task. I do highly encourage to set that timer, especially with some of these ideas, because it'll make it better. Like when that timer goes off, nope, it's done. I'm moving on to the next decision. So some ideas are clear your inbox down to the next 5 action items. This one you do need the timer, I think, because we will abuse it every time with our email, right? Like, just one more. Set that timer, delete anything, and just prioritize the next 5 action items that you can take in there. Or you could sit down or stand up and prioritize your top 3 tasks for the day. Most likely you have chosen them for the week. I do always encourage that in the podcast. But maybe you just need to, for the day, decide what 3 things are going to happen no matter what, so that before you get into your inbox, if this is the one that you chose, you've already fired off some things for your priorities for the day. You're just going to start them, and maybe not start them so much as just choose what are the top 3 priorities in this 10 minutes. Or you could follow up on one pending message or email that has been flagging you for a week, where you're like, I don't know how to respond to this. Set that timer, respond, be done with it. Eat the frog first. Or you could organize your desktop, whether the physical space or the digital part. So like maybe it's just organizing the apps on your desktop. Maybe it's like cleaning off your desktop. Like there's just too many papers and they're not organized. Just take the 10 minutes to visually change the desktop area, whether that's digitally or physically. Just take 10 minutes and clean that up. Even just like closing out of some tabs that you haven't used. Okay. Clean your desk for just 10 minutes and you've got the perfect reset to then start over and get your day more on the right page. And this is one of my favorite ones. You could record a quick voice memo. I use the Otter app. I love it. It even does really good with my Midwest accent, which is difficult, I think. But if I am like, I don't want to use the word obsessing, but that's probably the right word here. If I'm really spiraling and obsessing over a thought that it's not necessarily a work project, maybe it's a work relationship, maybe it's an email that I need to return, but I'm just not sure how to respond, I pull up my Otter app and I get all of my thoughts out. It's kind of like an audible brain dump. I get all of my thoughts out. I put them into the Otter app. Then it's out. it's out there. And sometimes I don't even return to it, but I've just had the time to like audibly talk about it to myself, if you will, and get it down. Then sometimes I export the text version of it so that I can read it and go, okay, there are some main parts here that I can use to initiate the email or the phone call or the relationship or whatever. But when I audibly process it and then I get to see it in words, I'm like, okay, here's what I'm trying to say. And then I can also take out any of the stuff that I'm like, no, I do not want to say that. But I was able to just freely get it out. Then I can take the next step on it. That usually takes less than 10 minutes, but it clogged up my brain for probably 4 hours. And so I do love that little 10-minute task. Open up your voice memo or your Otter app, get it out, then reread it so that you can formulate a more organized thought pattern of how you're going to execute on it. Now for your family system, remember your family system is about, are you living the legacy that you also want to leave behind? Do those two things come together? Are you actually living what you know you want to leave behind? And within your family system, you're trying to create intentional connection and order with your family. So some ideas that you could do in just 10 minutes or less, if you really feel like your family system is the thing that's just really spiraling. Here are some ideas. Send a quick thinking of you text to each of the kids or a loved one. Maybe it's a loved one that's been on your heart really lately. You can always like pause, pray, God, who do you want me to encourage today? That's a frequent prayer that I have. And then just take the time to send them a quick note, or maybe it's a voice text so they can hear your voice, or maybe it's a thank you card for encouraging, but just 10 minutes to like be intentional about family connection. Or you could set a timer and do a mini tidy up together with everybody. It's like, guys, I know this is kind of our home system, but I am feeling very overwhelmed and I need my family's help. Can we just like set a 10-minute timer? This really is a game changer because it helps your family be aware of like what's going on in your brain rather than knowing that mommy is raging. Like, I'm just going to help mom here for just a little bit. And we're just going to tidy up. This one is something that we practice in our family because a sense of humor is just really important to me. And my side of the family is very, of course, we're going to say that we're very humorous. It sounds like I'm bragging, but humor is just really important to me. I think it's a good healing mechanism as well. You can ask a silly or a meaningful question at the dinner table. And what we do is high, low, and buffalo. And buffalo is something random, just something bizarre that they learn during the day. We don't always have buffaloes, but I do find when we take those 10 minutes while we're eating to just really connect, the buffalo one is something really fun. Or you could leave a sticky note of encouragement on someone's mirror or in their lunchbox or in their car. And I have found this to be fairly powerful. Powerful will probably be an exaggeration. Maybe it's more like meaningful. When I do this for my oldest son, it's like I feel disconnected from him sometimes because he just moves a million miles an hour because he's a teenager and that's just the state that he's in right now. But I want him to know that I do care about him, even though I didn't get to tuck him in at night. Yes, I still do that if I can, if he allows me. But some weeks it's just not like that. And so then I feel disconnected, not necessarily him. This is just a mother feeling. And so then I feel good. Maybe it is self-serving, but I feel good when I get to write him a note and remind him that, man, you are so loved. I thought about you yesterday. Just curious how your day went, just like this little note of I'm thinking about you and I want to stay connected to you, or it might be a text message. But when I physically write something out to them, somehow it's stickier, if you will, than just a sea of text messages that they get from everybody. And so I kind of like taking that little extra step that says, I care about you and I'm thinking about you and I'd like to encourage you today, or I'm just thinking about you today. Another 10-minute task that is one of my favorites and one of my go-tos is praying out loud for my family. Out loud, saying, God, I don't know what to do in my family system. I'm feeling really overwhelmed. I'm feeling like I'm spiraling. I don't know what to do, but my eyes are on you. And then I start listing my husband and my children one by one, asking God to intercede, asking God to speak to me, to give me wisdom, to watch over them. It's short, but it's sweet. And it's extremely powerful when I can list each one of them, the ones that he has made for me, the ones that I want to be connected with and helped me to be in communion with them, even if they don't know it. And that's less than 10 minutes of just like, I'm going to feel connected to these family members. So there you have it. That is 50 ideas that you can do in 10 minutes or less to help reset and stop the spiral. There's a ton of things that you can do in 10 minutes that will keep the spiral going. It's like adding things or being more productive or raging about how it's going on. Or you can do the opposite. Take a deep breath. Set a timer. Let the 10-minute timer always speak to you like, this is just 10 minutes. Within this 10 minutes is for a reset. What would give me the biggest reset in this system, whichever one feels the most spirally at the moment, that would help me just take a deep breath out? This is how you could do it. 50 different ideas. Please, you guys, on social media this week, especially on Instagram, reach out to us. I want to know what you guys do in your 10-minute resets because it encourages all of us. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. You know how I like to time everything. So sometimes, it's the dishwasher, but the dishwasher doesn't necessarily help reset me because you close the door and then it's out of sight, out of mind. But if I clean up the floor, that's more of a reset. So I want to hear for your guys' families and examples and all of your beautiful roles and duties that you're taking on. What is it that gives you a 10-minute reset? Because then we can share with one another. So please do talk about that. And if you found this episode encouraging and you feel like this was just the reset that you needed in 10 minutes or less, would you please forward this to a friend or a family member who's like, guys, turns out we're overcomplicating it. Let's just take 10 minutes and we're going to reset. Here's 50 ideas that you can use. And we will have that resource available for you in the show notes here and available on the encouragerpodcast.com. You don't need a whole new schedule or a whole new routine or a whole retreat. You just need one tiny interruption in the spiral of 10 minutes to turn things around. Encouragers, you don't need to fix it all. You just need a timer, a little courage, and the willingness to reset one thing. Not all 50. Let's just do one idea in one system. God will meet you in those 10 minutes. So set it, try it, and trust that it's enough for today. Until next time, encouragers, we got this because He's got us. Thanks so much for tuning in. If the Encourager podcast has helped or encouraged you in any way, please subscribe to the show and leave a 5-star review. And then help us spread the message of encouragement and hope by sharing the podcast with others. Ready to bring more organization and joy into your life? The Encourager Academy helps you harmonize your home and work life through our online course and coaching programs. Our 5-system approach, me, food, family, work, and home, tackles your biggest obstacles, offering lifetime access to video lessons and guided worksheets. Learn at your own pace with practical tools and strategies. Enroll now at encourageracademy.com.
I'm Don Hawkins, and I once heard Chick-fil-A founder Truett Cathy say, "You can tell if a person needs encouragement, check to see if they're breathing." I'd like to invite you to my weekly podcast, Encouragement for You, featuring encouraging guests like Dr. Greg and Aaron Smalley, Dan Cathy, the late Dr. Frank Menrith, Josh McDowell, and more. To subscribe to my weekly Encouragement for You podcast, go to lifeaudio.com. That's lifeaudio.com.